All right, everyone. Today is the day, of course. The what do you call it? Our biggest event of the year, or not biggest event of the year. Our biggest event thus far in our short run as a promotion, and that, of course, is the Canadian Classic, which will be tonight. We will see how it goes. Um, but it'll be very interesting. So, before this, we'll see if anything can crack. Our top event is CFW Live in February, so our last week's episode. Our greatest match was Nick Kozak versus Mike York, and Luthez versus Gorgeous George. That was just like, man, but yeah, 136 for the Big Bang. So yeah, but we'll see how it goes. No pay-per-views don't exist yet. TV ratings. The Big Bang was just such a bad show. That was a disaster. Terrible way to start the show. And at our highest attendance. But yeah, hopefully we've grown since then. Of course, we were so small at the start. We could have a good show to help us grow in our sleep. And just hang on 1 second. Sorry, everyone. I have animals, so I just gotta take care of one of them right this second. All right, everyone. Sorry about that. So yeah, but this is it. So it'll be a tournament show. I'm actually very excited. I have a story in mind that I've had since we started the series. This was kind of the first, like, man, I have a really big plan. Hopefully, it works out. But yeah, I'm excited to share this story for you guys. And this is the sort of thing where I was really hoping for, how do I don't know the nicest way to say this, but this is where I was really hoping for, like, the reason. Sorry, everyone. I'm just so excited, and it's almost 3 in the morning. But the main reason I am very excited for the show is, and a big part of why I didn't want to, like, reveal my creative plans and tried to avoid spoilers. So if you've looked at our events, when I've accidentally clicked on it, there is a spoiler there. Of course, not a major one by this point because you kind of know where everything is going from the Big Bang. So, but very excited for the Canadian Classic. We'll see how it go. Who will be our first ever Canadian Classic winner? We'll see. But before we do that, let's make it official. So let's go to titles. Of course, we have the Canadian Heavyweight Champion, which is Thor Hagen. But let's create a title, and we will call this the CFW Canadian Classic winner. Just to show you, let's, like, really make this official, and then we'll just have the generic champion photo. 1975. Here, you know what? I'm gonna pause this and show you guys the end screen of it while I make it official for the introduction. A little bit of improvisation here. So, all right. So here it is. So, yeah, basically I have it written up here. It's a one night 8-man tournament. Um, So the reason it's fought for in a singles match is just to I know the tournament will probably work out fine in the same way. However, I just don't want to risk it because right now it's a one night tournament. So it'll eventually be, if we ever get big enough, it'll be like officially a tournament when we can alter it. So you can still let me just see here. Edit the title. So yeah, so you can still, I can make it a tournament in the future, but for right now we'll just say one versus one, and we're just gonna exit before anything else. So yeah. So that's why it is the way it is right now. But right now, with the way our contracts work, with them being handshakes, with just being small, we really gotta work around a schedule. So when we do things like a tournament, which I think is exciting. This feels very old school, where it's like everything else, is its own thing. But then we have a one night tournament right now, kind of like how the G1 was, um, is basically the way it's going to be for now. And then once we get into the future, hopefully we're still a company that's viable because we're losing money right now. In like 1985, 86, 87, 90, 91, it's like a build up to a pay per view. But that's basically the goal here. And tune in for the first annual Canadian Classic. All right, welcome to the second episode. Um, decent wrestling, just the usual rookie showcase. Not much we expect for it. But now let's get into the main meat and potatoes of this episode, and that is indeed the Canadian Classic. So, and next segment, we start the show with the best match in CFW history. Luthez defeated Abdullah the Butcher. Um, and a wild brawl, just in 10 minutes. These guys just went ham on each other, did all kinds of things that Luthez and Abdullah the Butcher can do, and they make their way into the best match in our show's history. Next up, this was a road agent mistake, but big follow up in a match that had been building for a while. Nick Kozak faced off against Killer Kowalski and won with and Killer Kowalski won clean as a whistle. Obviously Nick Kozak may be disappointed, and here he just explained it does suck. Killer Kowalski is a great competitor, but it does suck to lose, particularly to him. I got to do better. I expected to win the tournament and out in the first round, so that is very disappointing for me. So Nick Kozak visibly upset and very sad about how he did in the Canadian Classic. Next up in a 40 match, Buddy Rogers defeated Thor Hagen with outside interference from Abdullah the Butcher. Of course, Thor Hagen making his first appearance back, and I don't think Abdullah the Butcher could let Thor Hagen stake a claim on being the best to really stake a claim on making it farther than him. Thor Hagen and Abdullah the Butcher have issues, and it looks to continue here. Of course, Thor Hagen made his first appearance since being attacked after winning the title by Abdullah the Butcher. So, very interesting, and we'll see how this goes from here. Next up, in a 54 and 7 minutes, was a double countout. Both men fought, and they couldn't make it back in the ring within 10. So it is what it is. That's kind of what happens. The nature of the business. But that does mean Buddy Rogers will indeed get a bye into the final. Buddy Rogers, he won one match outside interference, and he's already in the final. And then next up, the road agent for me killed this one, but Luthez in an amazing match defeated Killer Kowalski in 1304 with an STF. I got to make sure my character isn't the road agent in the future. Because I really screwed the pooch on this match because this should have been higher than a 48, but that's on me. Being the road agent, just like in real life, but still, obviously, a great match. Definitely cracks an all-time classic. So Luthez has gets it out, having to face very game Killer Kowalski here. And next up, Buddy Rogers. He came out and basically said, "Hey, look at that, Luthez. I'm back. My suspension is over. How does it feel? To like I'm totally gonna beat you. And can he do it? No, he cannot. So it was a 49. So unfortunately, match of the night was the beginning. But this, I think, looked to be the second best match on the card. Um, it's it was a fantastic match. Obviously a little bit older, but Luthez and Buddy Rogers, they did their job. They had a great match, and the story here was, of course, Buddy Rogers going through a lot, having to get it out through two matches. Buddy Rogers only winning one through outside interference, but Buddy Rogers put, you know, did what he could, did have a good showing. He still had to win two matches, so shout out to Buddy Rogers for being able to get to the final, even if he only had to win one match to do it. But tonight was a classic performance by Luthez. Luthez has won the first ever Canadian Classic. So that's good for Luthez. Obviously the greatest to ever do it on his way out into retirement has proven it again here tonight by winning the Canadian Classic. So shout out to Luthez. definitely proven himself to be the greatest of all time. And we have our first ever Canadian Classic winner, and that is indeed Luthez. And let's see how we did. 51. So that's up there for our best show in history, for sure. Um, yeah, it's definitely there. So I'm gonna make a speech here. We're going to praise for a great performance, Luthez. Uh, for wrestling 3 matches at his age on the way out and being willing to do that. So this is going to be still a little bit meta here in that. So I'm going to break kayfabe here a little bit. Now we're in the like this is just behind the scenes stuff, but like not full fourth wall breaking here. Just talking about the game in general, my plans going forward. Um, and then obviously for doing double duty, praise for a great performance. And then for putting on match of the night, even though he only wrestled 1 match, Abdullah the Butcher should also be praised for a great performance. I wish I could also give a shout out to 47-year-old Killer Kowalski. But yeah. Yeah, so that's it for this one. We'll see how many viewers the Canadian Classic got or when it airs and everything. But that we'll see how that goes. But in general, just an all-out success for our first annual event here. So we did almost 10,000 people came to watch our show. You love to see it. Obviously, we're probably in the red now. Yeah, we're in the red. We're obviously bleeding money. I don't know how to correct that without pay-per-views. We don't get huge attendances. Let me see size. Like, I think we should be growing in size. I don't know why we're not. Um, so we did grow to 26. So we are growing. It's gonna take a while before we get to 35. But and then USA is probably nothing. Well, the Northwest, but and then the Northwest Territories. Well, I don't think they exist here. Yeah, you can't really do a show in the Northwest Territories, but yeah, at least it's starting to get up there. We're at 26. I do kind of think it should grow faster when you put on 50 shows and everything, but um, yeah, we are bleeding money. Maybe I will cheat a little bit. We'll see. I don't really know if I want to cheat, but yeah, we'll see. Maybe just small, and overextending our bounds. But yeah, um, so now, unfortunately, the spoilers is in my office, but CSW All Star Wrestling they did a 68, so Big Time Wrestling they did a 78, so they're where are they located? So they're in the Southwest, so we weren't the show of the night, unfortunately, but we'll see if anyone yeah, so we're bottom of the barrel still, but it is what it is. We're growing. We do have the honor of being the last match Luthez will ever wrestle for. We'll see what they say here. The feedback that has been awesome. We have outshone some of the bigger companies in recent efforts. So yeah, probably. But and I tried bringing in this guy and failed during one of the simulations. Um, but yeah, I Mad Dog. He could have come here. Definitely would have been treated as a big deal. However, he doesn't believe in what we're doing here. But yeah, that's it for this one. Unfortunately, all in all, our shows have now, other than our terrible pilot, which is realistic. Luckily, is that other than our terrible pilot special, which was our first ever show, The Big Bang, we've been hitting it out of the park with every single match. We almost hit 10,000 viewers for after being open for a month. That's very good. But we'll see where this goes. We did extend CFW Live. We got one episode left with Fan TV. They definitely will be willing to renegotiate with us. Um, but yeah, it is. We are bleeding money right now. So we'll go from there. But yeah, other than that, I'll see you guys as soon as I can, hopefully tomorrow, for some more CFW Live as we build to our next big event, which you can probably see it, but I won't say it out loud just yet. But I mean, you kind of know where it's going with the final and everything, but that all remains to be seen. So a little bit shorter for this one, but obviously bigger event, more important event. And if you have any advice on how to make some money, or how bankrupt I have to be before we officially are bankrupt, because this is unsustainable for 15 years, but maybe we start to make a profit once our ticket sales become everything. But yeah, so that's it for this one. See you guys in the future.